Welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about another React hook, which will be the useRef. So we have learned about the use state, the use effect in different situations, and now it's time for us to move to useRef or use references. Okay, we can call it like that. The useRef effect or hook, is like a very unique. For example, I don't have really a lot of cases where I can show you. For example, if we jump to our application that we are using as an example, which is Bookshin, like I don't have really a lot of use cases where I have used the useRef hook right here, but I'm gonna make up my own. Okay, so let's close this application or close this tab because we don't need it. Let's not confuse ourselves. And here what I will do, imagine, or let me tell you first of all the benefit of it. The benefit of the useRef hook, it is to create references for any HTML tags that we are gonna add. Now, you may be wondering, what is the benefit of creating a reference for an HTML tag? Well, there is many situations where you want to do that. For example, let's assume that we have inputs. For example, I'm gonna add an input right here. I'm just gonna give it a class name to be input, even if we are not gonna style it a lot, but let's go ahead and add it. And here what I will do, I will go ahead and also we can specify the type as well to be text and this kind of stuff. Placeholder, enter something, okay? And here is our input. If we check our application, we should be able to see an input. There we have it right here. And of course, we could style it somehow like as we want. For example, we can take this class and place some styles, okay, if we want to. For example, I can add padding, or you get the idea. And in our case, I really don't, for example, need a lot of stuff. So I will say 1 rem from the top and bottom and 0.5 rem, okay, something like that. We should be able to see now. Okay, let me just check our index. Okay, we need to load our style file. Okay, so index.css like so, and now we should be able to see our padding. Yeah, there we have it right here. But the only thing that I want to do is just to push it away. So margin from the top like 4 rem or from all sides. I just want to not be, I want you to see it, okay, like so. There we have it. So what I will do, once our page has load, so for example, when the page has load, I want the cursor or my input to be focused. And I'm sure that you have seen this situation in a lot of web applications. So where we have the input is autofocus when the page has been loaded. Okay, let's go ahead and implement that. For example, whether it's a login form on and so on. I will teach you how to do it, and you can implement it in your own situation. First of all, I have told you that when our page is loaded, I want our input to be focused. Okay, so in order for us to check for the page has been loaded, we need to inject the use effect. Okay, so I'm gonna add my use effect like so, and here we are just gonna call it one time. Okay, you can add your like so. We are gonna only call our use effect when the page has been loaded. This is the first part of our task. Now we want to make our input focus. First of all, we are going to make a reference for our input, and when the page has been loaded, we are going to get that reference and make it focus. So first of all, I'm going to create a variable. I'm just going to call it input ref. You can call it whatever you want, but I think this type of names make sense. Equal to useRef. Okay, just type useRef and make sure that React will import it on the top. Again, the same problem that we have previously is that we are importing the useRef separately from the other hooks. I don't like this one. I'm going to delete this line and import the useRef like so. So we are importing the useRef from React, and here I am creating a reference using the useRef. So what I will do, you need to invoke it, okay, because it's a function. And here we need to give it an initial value. Okay, most of the time you will give it null, okay, because when the application is started, like, we need to just give it the initial value for the null right here, because like we don't know any value that we want to pass over here. Okay, so null will do the job. Okay, and here now we have our input ref. What we want to do, we want to assign it to our input, and the way that you would do that is that we have an attribute called ref. Okay, and if you, what you want to do, you just want to go ahead and set it to be the input ref. Okay, like so. We have our input ref pointing to our variable right here that we have created using the use ref. Okay, now what I want to do now, this input ref right here, this variable right here, holding this input. And to prove that, what you want to do, you want to say log input ref, and by the way, dot current. If you are familiar with the document object module that about the DOM and how you can create references using only JavaScript, then you already probably know how to, what does this mean right here. We want to go ahead to the input ref and get the current item that the reference referring to, because we could, like, for example, assign this input ref to multiple elements or to another element. So we just want to get the current element, and if we check our log, we can see we have an input right here. Okay, so what I want to do, very simple. Instead of logging this to the console, I will say input ref dot current dot focus. This is a function that exists on each input, on any input, so it will be focused. Okay, so if I refresh it, we can see it's been focused automatically. So we can see it right here. Okay, another benefit of doing that, for example, I'm gonna add a text right here, or a button as well. So I'm gonna add a button. I'm just gonna say add. Okay, and below this one we are gonna render a paragraph. Okay, and here I'm gonna create a piece of state. I will call it value and set value. It should equal to the use state hook, and we are gonna start with an empty string. And here what I will do, I will go ahead and render whatever the value that we have it in our state right here. Okay, now you might be wondering, what is the benefit of this button? Well, I'm gonna create a function. I'm gonna explain what I'm doing in a second. Just give me a second to write the code, and I will just say handle click, and it's equal to a function that will be responsible on once the user enters something in our input. Okay, we are gonna render it right here. Now, of course, we have the on change, if like the on change on the input itself, and we can do that, the on change event. But I want to show you the reference in another example. Okay, so don't yelling at me. I know that this is maybe not the best way of handling the input change text, but just stick with me. I will show you something. So what I will do, I will say set value to be whatever the input ref dot current dot value. Okay, so I'm trying to access the value from our input utilizing this reference. Okay, and here I'm just gonna assign the onClick attribute to be the handle click. And once I do that, if we go ahead and enter anything right here, click on add, we are gonna see it over here. Again and then again, if we want to do something like this, then probably we'll use the on change event on our input. But our lesson is on the use ref. I want to show you what is the benefit of using the use ref hook. And this is the benefit of it. It will give you a reference to any HTML tag, and it will give you a full access to that tag, to that element. You can get the value, you can make it focus, you can change a lot of stuff about it. And this is the first example of using the use ref. In the next video also, I'm going to take another example. It's going to be a little bit challenging, but again, that should does the job. And as you can see, we have used the use effect, the use state, and the use ref in one example. In the next video, we are gonna do a more thing with the user. So hopefully that makes sense. Thank you, my friends, so much for watching, and I will see you in another one.